Chapter 15: Marketing Costs. Every once in a while, Jake would get really excited about a new product or technology which had been created at his company, Jake Specialty Tools. He, along with Steve, would have an air about them as though they had found the answer to the problems of the universe. They would be so excited and upbeat. Michelle knew by experience that all of Jake's expansionist thought processes, which had been fans sitting till now, would suddenly jump into action. He would push ahead with capital expenditure in the face of, sometimes, stiff resistance from Michelle. Jake would first act and ponder later. He often tried to analyze his gut feeling. Some of his marketing campaigns paid off, and some of them were total disasters. The one at hand was a scheme where Jake had imagined that with the acquisition of a new simulation software and titanium coating, his company would be the next big thing for his company. The market till now had proved quite the opposite. He really wondered if there could be a scheme where his plans could be put to test before he elected to put real money behind them. For all her banter about "I told you so," Michelle easily understood and sympathized with Jake. She too wanted an answer to this very vexing question. Was there a way of knowing beforehand if the outlays were going to hurt or not? The answer and the direction were relatively simple. With her network and research, she homed onto a strategy of a paradigm development before the question could be answered. Once the paradigm was developed, she figured it was then child's play. As she went through her search, she reaffirmed her feelings. She understood that marketing costs were the most crucial cost, and lay hidden in the analysis was the answer. The paradigm that the organization had developed was a continuous and transparent analysis of marketing costs. The marketing costs not only consist of the campaigns, the discounts, but also of all publicity indulged in. All indirect costs associated with marketing too must be ruthlessly, critically, and transparently analyzed. This could include the telephone calls, travel expenditure, and whatever expenses were incurred by the marketing department. These costs needed to be analyzed by product group, geography, time, salesperson. Michelle decided that she would sit with Steve and his team for a session on brainstorming with this data. She realized that such a clinical approach would reveal trends and patterns about products, customers, and the sales team. Personal cost data of the marketing department and its analysis would also reveal interesting data about a sales team. She shook her head as she realized that such a transparent discussion of cost data would throw up the dinner parties that Steve had with the editor of the national magazines just to see his name in the papers. She caught on to the aspect of building a paradigm that a website spoke of. All marketing costs were to be superimposed with the product performance in the various markets with similar analysis for geographies, time periods, and the team involved. She also recollected that the operation cost data had also been collected at a product level for the direct costs. A combination of these two cost information would yield a very potent mixture. The most profitable high-volume products, the most profitable customers, the time zones for various products, geographies where the marketing costs were the lowest, team cost analysis. The list was endless, and the possibilities would emerge that would lend an automatic momentum to the organization. Based on this, it was obvious that if the gut feel of Jake was superimposed on top of this, it would be a much more considered decision-making process. As a matter of fact, if the company could display this kind of dissection of data, the lending institutions would perhaps be willing to participate in the equity of projects where the risk appeared to be higher, but strategically such projects were important. Michelle wistfully thought that if such an approach had been followed with the current investments, it would have given the organization staying power in the market.